morning, good morning. We just came in from the sunshine. Whew. Poor little girls are out here freezing. The traffic control people. Should have a red stop sign. I think they're widening the highway, which is actually kind of neat. See you in a minute. That sort of took forever. Starting to warm up. It is now 7 degrees. It was 4 when we stopped. Probably stopped for about 8 minutes. Not too bad. They're making a passing lane up here, I believe. Seems like something they would have done in the spring, but they're doing it now. Water truck spreading water, keeping the dust down. It's 8:50 a.m. We've been working since 4. So almost 5 hours. We're going to go pick up another load and then go deliver that and then go back home. Then tomorrow I will get loaded and then empty it and then come back and get loaded again and then go park it. So I did that yesterday. Today I run 2 runs. So between yesterday and today, I'll have 3 loads delivered in 2 days. 4 days would be 6. In 6 days, you can actually get 9. Wonder why it's icy right here. I think that's Billy. Start to get to know all these drivers. They all work for different companies, and some for the company I deal with, but kind of get to know these guys. They're all pretty cool. I met Christensen this morning. I was getting unloaded, and I had to have Seth, who actually works for the company I haul for. I go, hey, what happens? Because I have 3 tanks. You got a tank in the very front, one in the back of the primary trailer, and then 1 tank in the pup, which is by itself its own tank. Anyway, I go, hey, I got a issue where I'm not draining out of the back tank, and it was my fault. I didn't clean out the lines well enough. So this oil has a lot of paraffin in it, makes it waxy, so it solidifies. I mean, it's like pretty hard when it solidifies. You could get a little pinhole in it, or about the size of a pencil actually, and the hot oil will start flowing through that. It'll melt it pretty quick. Now you have a 3-inch diameter hole from the size of a pinhole. So anyway, he's like, do you have air on your trailer? And I'm like, yeah. So he goes, oh, let me grab my jacket, I'll be right over. And he come over and he goes, go ahead and charge the line. So I charged it, and he goes, where's this valve go? And I go, this one here. He goes, this trailer is all messed up. It needs to be redone. And I go, it's the only trailer I know. But, so for me, it's fine, but to somebody who knows how this stuff works, it's all jacked up. Anyway, we blew it a few times, and I heard it go up into the belly of the primary second tank, and then we started getting oil. I was like, woo! Then I emptied those 2 tanks, and then I went to go empty the pup, and I connected the hose to it, and then you open the valve, and it was really tight towards the back side, and I was like, man, I was worried about if I got all the oil out of there, which I did not. I need to, when I go to this other place to deliver, I need to tell them, hold on, let me close my valves, and then you keep pulling for a little bit. Don't just say I'm done and then close up, because then I leave oil in that line. It sets up, and it's like, what, 7 degrees outside right now? It sets up even faster. So anyway, it got kind of started a little bit slow, but I watched the numbers going down on the meter, and I was like, woo! I was glad that happened. And so Christensen was next to me. He was looking at his trailer. So I went over and talked to him, and he was talking about his truck. He goes, I just bought this truck like a month ago. It's like, nice. So I pumped him for a little bit of information. He's got 450,000 miles on the truck he bought. And I think he paid 140,000 for it. I told him, he goes, well, I'm going to change the oil like every 8 to 10,000 miles, just so I can save the engine longer. I didn't want to tell him, well, yeah, but what did the other guy do? The guy who started the break-in process, you know? But anyway, I told him, I go, that's a nice looking truck, which it is. But I told him, I go, I'm going to get like 100,000 mile truck or a new one. I'm getting it with a warranty. I want to mess around with it. If I'm making payments, I might as well just make payments, but I have a truck that's always running. I know some guys said that whoever you pull for, if your truck goes in the shop, they can put you on as a company driver, which is going to hurt. You're not making what you normally make, but only by a third is what you. But you're making something, and I would do that. You're still making something. So, but I mean, I don't know. I just soon make the payment, call it the cost of doing business, and get a nice new truck. We don't put many miles on them like we do in OTR. 150,000 a year I'd put OTR. Here, 60. So basically a third of what OTR is. So in 5 years, I'll have about 300,000 miles for a 5-year-old truck. That's pretty good. Like I said before, surely it's hard miles, but you never really know what a truck has been put through when you go to buy one, a used one, I should say. So me and Seth were talking. I'm ahead of him, and I'm gonna be at the lacked unit to the meter to load before him. And he goes, because we were talking after he helped me blow my line out, kind of showed me what you do when you have a clogged line like that. He was like, "Where's your next load?" I go, "Over to Denning." He goes, "Oh yeah, what time?" Or I think he already knew, because he's like, "You're early, aren't you?" I go, "Yeah." I go, "There's somebody there at 9 o'clock. Mine was 11. The one before me is 9. It only takes about 45 to an hour to load. So, I just figured I'd get a jump on it." He goes, "Yeah, I'm at 9 o'clock. I go, "Oh, okay. Well, if I get there, I'll probably more than likely get there before you, which I will. I go, I won't start loading. I'll just sit and relax. And then you come in, and then you can load, and I'll load after you." He goes, "Man, that's cool. I really appreciate that." And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just helped me fix my hairline or help me with a problem. I am early. I don't want to jump you if you're going to be that close. I'll just sit and wait." Kind of give and take, you know. We get closer to Duchesne here. It's getting warm. 16 now. Oh, 17. I'll show you this turn up here in Duchesne. I was doing it like I already knew. I mean, I'm new to this, but I already knew where my tolerances and my clearances are. Clearance from clearance. And this guy was turning left, and I was turning right, and I started moving before he was done, and he freaked out. He like got on the radio, started freaking out. I just told him, "Chill, Winston." He couldn't see it, but I could. I'm not going to hit his trailer. But I'll show you what I mean. It's a pretty tight turn, but it can be done easily. You don't have to freak out. Even with another vehicle turning left, you can turn right at the same time. It'll be fine. I'll show you what I mean right here. Strawberry River right there we're crossing. So this is Duchesne. I used to say Duchesne. I couldn't really, because the way that's how it's spelled. But after dealing with the local yokels, I realized it's Duchesne. Probably Indian name. So that's the intersection. That's Highway 40 right there. Runs over there to Empire, Winter Park, Fraser, Tabernash, Granby, Hot Sulphur, Partial, Kremling, Rabbit Ears Pass. You go that direction, you'll end up right here. So we making a right turn here. This guy is coming in here, he's in the median. He's gonna turn left, which what he was doing. And then I just went like this while he's halfway through this. Started doing this, and he starts freaking out. I'm like, chill, Winston, we got this. Gotta get my GoPro mount, so we're gonna put it on the back outside. Oh, come on. If you're gonna put it in there, put it in there. And get a better angle of what kind of curve action's going on with that, with the length of this rig here. So there's a little number. We have this app that we use for our e-log. We're not really, we're kind of e-log exempt. This is different though. With OTR, you had to be on top of it all the time. You didn't have to be, but if you weren't, your time just flies like the wind, you know. Oops, jumping the gun here on my speed. That's what I was talking about. There's the Strawberry River again. With E-log, every time I stopped, I would touch my E-log, OTR, I'd touch it, stop the clock, go on duty, off duty, break, whatever it was I was doing. Well, here we start out in the morning, go on duty, do your pre-trip, and then just start driving. It kicks in automatically, which it did on the other truck as well. And then we never touch it again. It goes into on duty when you stop, like 5 minutes after you stop, and then start moving again. It goes back to driving again. It works out to where you don't usually run out of hours. By the time you get 9 loads in, you're about out of hours, but you don't run out of them. That seems how that works. So this app that we use has a little number on there, and I was talking about the number and talking to the safety guy, and he's like, oh yeah, that's your safety score. I go, oh, mine's 96, nice. And he goes, yeah, not bad. And then I started thinking about it. He's like, yeah, when you go over the speed limits, it drops your numbers down. I'm like, oh. So to get 100%, you got to do everything right. He goes, yep. So I've been working on that, and mine has gone up to 98% with 1% positive growth from the last 7 days. So I'm inching it back up. I want to be in that 100 percentile range. So we're going to another well. Can't film the well, but we can film parts of the stuff going out there. I'll show you what I mean. A lot of wells you can see all around us, but what we actually do there, they don't want us filming or taking pictures. I did one as a joke. I'll show you right here. It looks like it's an issue, but it's actually trick photography. Even though both of those things are happening at the same time, the flameage and the tank, it's all one thing. It's just that's way behind in the background. It just looks like it's right there. I titled it Oops. Anyway, it's right here. Kind of neat, huh? Okay, we're gonna turn right here. The other day when we did that one, I had a super load. It's supposed to be a semi-load. We came out there to the right. I was gonna go for it, but get my safety numbers up. Not like they're bad. They're actually pretty good. Gear 1.6, gear 1.7. No need to go into 18. Because we're going to be going back down to 3 or 4 here in a minute. Maybe 5, but well, probably 4. 4 low. I think this is the Strawberry River again, but it could be Duchesne River we cross. It's the Duchesne River. I think the Strawberry flows into it though. I'm sure there's fish in there. I'm gonna have to try it one of these days. I was going to go to 3 and then it was too high, so I go to 4 and it was messed up, so I went back to 3. Still learning how to shift. All them years in those automatics. Which comes in handy in the snow. And they've got these 18-speed automatics now they're coming out with. Wonder why I shifted hard. I got the Jake brake on. See you in a minute. So I wonder why these clouds have been sitting here for a couple of days now. I don't know why. They're like parked. On the other side, it is sunny. Halfway up the mountain, it's sunny. You come over here, it's dreary and drab and overcast. Kind of looks like bad air quality as well. Need some wind to kick it up. Okay, so we stay on this road. I'll film it, not today though. It goes up to a 10% grade. So how come I knew the other day to put it in 3 or 2 high to climb that one area. Because you climb that bluff right in front of us and you climb it like straight up. There is no zigzags. So it's pretty nice and steep. Water truck, those guys can be a pain. It's like when you get out on the highway, they're hauling butt, but then you get them back here and they'll do like 5 miles an hour. Speed limit is 25, we're doing 21. I fixed the tripod issue. I found some baling wire yesterday and I wrapped it around the legs and tightened it down so it can't collapse on itself. Kind of acts like stops. So far it seems to be doing the trick. Gets wet, this road turns into soup du jour. You can see that road off there at about 11 o'clock there. That power line up there, that's an 8% grade. You turn right here at the crest of this hill, basically. It's going to kind of suck having to wait for Seth to even get here and start loading. But I told him, I made him a promise, so I'm going to keep my word. I'm used to just coming up here and be ready and I can load right off the bat, but I'll be partway through and then he'll be showing up. We're driving in England right now because those guys messed up that road, right hand side. Some of these drivers freak out. I'm like, this stuff doesn't bother me one bit. I get right next to you. call that a battery right there. This road's a little narrow. I've already encountered another truck when I was training. The guy was kind of freaking out when I was training me. He's like, I should have waited. If there was one coming, I'd pull over right there, but there's none coming, so. Maybe they just do it when they're loaded, because I have a water truck right on our tail. Lost a mud flap there. One way in, one way out. Go into the right, come out to the left. Okay, well, we got here over 2 hours ago. The other guy still never showed up. There was 3 trucks ahead of us getting loaded. This guy just pulled in over here. We're up next. It's going to be about an hour. Not going to be able to, what they call load, preload. Ain't going to happen. I'll go see how much oil we got. Tanks could start running dry. Too many trucks pulling too fast. Okay. That was a battle. About 4.5 hours we were there. That doesn't usually happen. Somebody got something mixed up. Dispatch with the pump house or the well site. Too many trucks. And then they're all pulling so much oil, the tanks were low. They come back pretty fast, but it's a long, drawn-out process. So we were going to go back to Price, Utah. That's not going to happen. If it wasn't for the E-log, I would do it. But I've been driving since 4 a.m. It is now 2 p.m. Only 4 hours. I need at least like the minimum 5 to 7 hours it could take. You get over there and then you wait. Sometimes. Usually afternoon you do. The mornings I haven't had a problem. This morning I drove right in, unloaded, and split. It was nice. So we'll get to go up that one road because we're not going to turn right, we'll turn left. We're going back to the yard. Let's leave early in the morning again. So we got a new info on how they pay. Pay by the barrel is what they pay to transport it. Like $4.90 a barrel, almost $5 a barrel. We got on 285, almost 286 right now on board. But I was supposed to see an accountant yesterday. Couldn't make it because we had to wait over at another terminal. We were there for 3.5 hours, which took forever. We'll learn this and get to the point where you know where the high times are. Well, there's a lot of trucks. Anyway, yeah, so let's go to that hill real quick. Okay, we got confirmation. Just go ahead and park it. Deliver this first thing in the morning. Give me one load instead of two. Flashers. This is quite the climb. Have another road over there that kind of goes from like the left to the right, horizontal. Seems like that would be better, but this is what we got. That's an old road, I assume. If there was snow and ice on here, I just would go around. It takes longer, but I wouldn't even mess with it. Even with chains, I think you would have a hard time climbing it. Should call my accountant and see, well, he's not my accountant yet. I'm in the process of dealing with it. See if he can't see me today, because I rescheduled for tomorrow, but then because everything got screwed up yesterday, things got screwed up today, so don't know what I'm gonna do. Some big Christmas ornaments on that tree to the left of us. Okay. Well, we've been working since 4 a.m. 2:20. I was gonna run it. He's like, nah, you better not. I'm like, okay. So we're sort of E-log exempt, but they still want you to be within the legal laws. Insurance. Still cold out there. It's 25 degrees. But I was hoping to get back to Price where it's nice and sunny. I don't know if we're going to get any birds here. I'm glad we didn't. So we're about 5 miles from the yard. We'll shut it down. Maybe I'll give the accountant a call. And I'm breaking the law. 5 miles over the speed limit. So we'll kick it back down. I talked to dispatch. So you guys have too many trucks going to that one well. You guys are going to sit there and wait. Takes me about 50 minutes to an hour to load. When the guy before me started loading, his tank was red. I go, dude, your tanks are low. And the big red thing across the screen. And he's like, no, really? What'd you do? I go, I didn't do nothing. I was telling you it's low. But it came back up, and then he was able to get loaded, and then I got ready to load. You can't get into the program until you don't have that low screen, low tank level warning. So I came and sat in the truck here after I hooked all the hoses up for about 15 minutes. Went out there, and it still said it. I was about ready to walk away, and then it came up with the screen that lets you enter. And I started to put that information in, and boom, low tank level red screen popped up, covers the whole thing. So you can't do nothing. Then it came back on again, and I was like, oh. Punched in a couple numbers, then boom, the red popped out again. I'm like, geez. Then I tried a third time, the charm. It let me get all the way in, but before I started the pump, I went and checked all my hoses again, and my connection and valves, make sure everything's open and ready to work. And then I went back there and I hit the start button and started pumping oil. And it did it continually. Sometimes it'll divert, but it did it continually, so that's a good thing. But we got out of there. But I feel sorry for those guys. But hey, I sat there for 4.5 hours. So we'll call this video good for now. Thanks again for riding shotgun with Mountain Man Mike. Till next time, enjoy. Peace. That well site right there to the left is fixing to bust wide open. 50 barrels or 50 loads a day. That's a lot. Got to buy a truck, plain and simple. See ya!